Are you ready? What?
I got something to say.
Todd,
Andrew,
what the hell's going on? How are you?
you're back home again, man. Back in the basement.
Back in the basement.
Back in the basement. You know what? I appreciate you. I know your lovely wife is away and you have the kids, so you're coming on
Playing single dad tonight, yeah.
tonight, which I know is never easy. But guys, we're doing this because one, we've got really two great things. One, the 2024 Bourbon County Stout lineup was announced yesterday. We're going to go over that in detail for a few minutes. And then a lot of people, Andy, are finally starting to get out there in Patreon land.
Yeah, I also see we got some beer folks back with us, ready to jump in. We got a little mixed crowd tonight, which is cool, which I think will be fun. So that'll be a good time.
But tonight, real quick, the first part of this show is all Bourbon County Stout. You know, we've really absolutely, I don't know, Andy, Bourbon County Stout for us as a beer channel many, many years ago was probably the first thing that really kind of got us going into this beer tube world and now whiskey tube world.
It sure was.
And every year we kind of make sure we review them because we love them so much. Are they sometimes better than others? Sure. Are there other barrel-aged beers out there better? Sure. But this is the OG. This is the barrel-aged beer that started it all. And I'm always excited to hear what they have.
So I'm adjusting something here, so go ahead.
So that being said, we have the press release from Goose Island. We will have all 5 variants for you guys early, again, like always, to let you know what we think of each, good, bad, or indifferent. And we're going to go through these tonight and kind of give you our thoughts. We'll give you the 411 on what each one of these is. I have a poll up right now that kind of says the interesting thing, and I don't want to get too ahead of ourselves. There's only 5 total bottles this year, 4 variants, and really only 3 that the entire country will get because the prop is only in Chicago. So it's not going to hurt your wallet as much. There's no 2-year reserves. There's no double barrels unless you count the Bardstown as a double barrel. We'll get to that.
Yep.
Andy, we'll get into it, but you saw the list and we'll get to it in depth. What is your initial reaction of the 2000 before we start our thing? But just quick thoughts before we start kind of our full review of this. What was your initial thoughts of the announcement?
Well, I'm always a little disappointed when there's only a handful released. You know, a couple years ago we had 8, and then we were at 6 last year. Now we're at 5. And it's not really because, not for any other reason other than it's great to try more stuff, right? Some of them they're not all going to hit, but I always love seeing what they come up with and what actually makes it. So yeah, there's always a list that comes out where it's kind of some teasers of what might make it, what might not.
Yeah,
I think there was about 9 potential offerings this year.
Oh yeah, I'm supposed to bring that up. I'll get that. Yeah,
sorry, it came down to 5.
Yeah.
What I find interesting this year is that they've kind of gone rogue and away from the bourbon side of things and really delved into some different styles, I think, which is cool, with a little prominence on rye this year. So I think it's going to be awesome. Like I'm stoked for the releases. I think they all sound really interesting. Macaroon will be neat to see how they pull that off.
Don't go too far. You're giving away some things here.
Readily available. So I think it's going to be a fun year. Let's just put it that way. I think it'll be fun. I'm looking forward to it.
So how we're going to do this, and we don't want to ignore the chat. Guys, we want you to stick around. Please vote. We want to kind of do it like we did last year, where Andy and I are going to kind of do an official video that we'll clip and then put up as separate video, like from this live stream, where we kind of go over all 5 variants, give you our thoughts. We're not really ignoring you, but we are. Just to get through that so we can clip it and put it up as a separate vid, and then we'll come back, get your thoughts on each variant, which ones you're excited about, and then we'll bring on some of our Patreon members who have gotten N Rye the Still Austin single barrel rye pick that we just released last week. Some people are getting them. So we want to have some drinks. So if you do have the N Rye, the link is in Patreon. Go click it. Come on. We already have a few in the basement. So come on. And I know Brian Slapshot, you've got it. A couple other people have gotten it. Come on and we'll drink together. So that's all. I'll give that plug there. That'll probably be, I'd say, around 9:45, Andy, or about 40 minutes from now. What do you think? Is that right?
We shouldn't take too long. There's only a handful to go through. So
that's true.
I think this will be fun. But yeah, we'll do the official. It'll sound a little goofy like it did last year, where we kind of do our, get centered here, our, welcome to 21090 spiel, the whole 9 yards. But we'll cut this into a video that we'll put up because it's kind of fun to do the unveiling. And of course, once the variants are in our hands, and we usually get them nice and early, we'll put all that stuff up and get them out to you. So before Black Friday, which is fun. So we love this time of year when we get to first hear what's going on. And then once we get closer to Black Friday, we love getting these videos up and kind of sample for you. So it's a ton of fun. What are you working on there, little fella?
I just wanted to bring up the proposed Bourbon County Stout labels that they submit to the TTB that often are fake. So, every year, just like in whiskey, they have to submit their labels to the TTB to be approved. And because people got wise of that and were able to see, okay, what is Bourbon County Stout or Goose Island submitting, they could figure out what the variants were ahead of way early. And so what Bourbon County Stout started doing, or Goose Island started doing, was they basically started putting out fake labels to throw people off, which I thought was quite interesting because it works. I remember the first time they did this, people were like, what? You said you were going to have this and it's not there. And now it's sort of like, you get to see throughout the year what they're submitting and which ones actually make it through. So I was trying to find.
Let me know when you have it up, because what we'll do is we'll just start the thing. That'd be a fun way to start it. But so once you get that up, and you don't even have to really pull it up. You can just read it.
Yeah, because I'm getting there. I'm almost there. Give me 1 second.
Afterwards.
All right. I'm there.
Crack open this old gem.
Oh, what do you got? What do you got there?
I got a 2019 OG right here.
All right.
We'll see how it does now here in 2024. So I'm just going to pour this and let it.
I love it. All right. Yeah, I've got them, Andy. We're good to go. So whenever we want to start this, I do have sort of that. What are you doing? The 2000 what?
19.
You know what? Then I was going to do a coffee from 22, but I'll do. Why don't I do then the 20? I'll do the 20 or the 21. I'll do the 21.
Ooh, she's pretty.
Maybe Jimmy. I saw Jimmy's random content. I don't know any other beer guys out there. I can't remember. Do we love 20? I know Jimmy loved the 2000. I think 20 was it?
17 was still my favorite. I thought 21 was great. 20 was good. There haven't been too many misses in the past few years. What you got there? The 21. 21's great too.
Yeah, there it is. The 21.
Fun. So we see a lot of friends with their Sugar Kitty, Mash and Metal, Mash and Drum.
21 is horrible, Jimmy said.
Guys, we appreciate it. Yeah, 4-leaf. A ton of people here.
Horrible. Come on, Jimmy. There's no horrible thing in Bourbon County. Horrible is very harsh here, brother. Now, I think what the problem, let me get close to the mic. What Jimmy, if I remember correctly, and Jimmy and Groovy didn't like, and I don't know if Saucy, because these are the OGs from our old Bourbon County Stout days. The thing that he didn't like about the 21 was there were that bitter coffee notes that you were getting. It wasn't as chocolate forward. I
like those bittering kind of chocolate notes. I'm kind of down.
Like that. Yeah. 20's not bad.
That's what makes this stuff fun. So do you want to do like the official intro and all that stuff there, Todd? So it sounds a little goofy. All right. Hang in here, watch us, and pretend that we are acknowledging, we see you, we love you, but we're just not going to post anything yet. We're not going to pull up any chats.
Yeah.
All right. So, you ready, Beavis?
Let's rock, Boathead.
All right.
That's good.
Make sure it's fantastic. All right. All right, well, welcome back to 1090. I am Andy. This is Todd, and tonight we're going to be going over the 2024 Bourbon County Stout lineup, which we are excited for. We do this every single Black Friday. We bring it to you early before it is released, and we got the official press release from Goose Island, so this is going to be fun. A light year, definitely not as many variants as we've had in the past. But before we do that, Todd, you pulled this up. I think it's kind of special. Let's talk about the ones that didn't quite make the list this year, because I think that'll be fun to talk about.
Yeah, well, that's the fun thing about this. Every year. Oops, I just well, I got rid of it, but let me get back. Every year they have to submit the labels to the TTB to kind of get approved, right? And people got wise to that and were able to see, okay, I can see exactly what Bourbon County Stout is offering this year way ahead of time. So they got wise to that and they started doing some fake labels. And so you can find them on X and various websites that scour the TTB to see what is being released in beer and whiskey as well. And sure enough, it was very interesting back in April, we started seeing these, Andy. And the first ones that were kind of funny that did not make it for this year were two that I thought I was hoping they might do. One was basically a cask finish, rare and single collaborations from Bardstown, Jack Daniels, and a mystery. So they had like basically these collaborations that never made it, especially from the Jack Daniels. So I thought, the other one was King of Kentucky, like these great distilleries, these barrel aged distilleries where you've got Jack Daniels and then you have Kings County. I just thought, oh God, that's going to be really great if they're putting in there for 2 years. And it said in there it was going to be a double barrel for the Jack Daniels for 2 years. I'm like, oh, that's got to be great. And there was like a mystery single barrel gold label that they didn't put anything on there. Like, what is it? It's gold. What could that possibly be? So those were 3 fakes: the Jack Daniels, the Kings of Kentucky, and King of Kentucky whiskey, and then this gold label that had nothing on it. Well, it was just a fake, basically. There was nothing, none of those came through. So I was hoping one of those would be picked, especially the King of Kentucky, but alas, it was not, Andy. So those 3 did not make it this year. But it gets even more crazier than that. There was, which I thought the interesting thing here is there's another one that was a Jack Daniels and other Jack Daniels triple blend stout that did not get selected. Now I don't know if they are like making these, and we have to probably go back. Do they ever bring, like, maybe this is something they're working on that it's not ready, but like,
they do this. It's kind of a teaser, and sometimes things just flat out don't make it. I remember we actually thought the cola was going to be fake. We said this was not going to make it through, and that actually made it through the lineup in 2021. So,
this triple blend stout said that it would be aged in Jack Daniel's triple mash American malt rye, the triple mash. And of course, that did not make it this year. So there's no triple mash blend from Jack Daniel's this year. So again, I love Jack Daniel's, and I don't think they've ever done Jack barrels.
They haven't. And so usually we get excited because the ones that are usually partnered with distilleries, it seems like an experiment that at least it's through.
Right.
And it just doesn't make the cut, because usually when you're working with distilleries, they're going to put that stuff out.
Yeah.
It's some of the crazier variants where they do these off the wall flavors where you're like, I'm not sure that's going to make it.
Well, Andy, I've got 2 more that didn't make it that I want to. These are the ones that I was like, what's going on here? One was a Bourbon County brand stout, upside down cake stout. So I thought this was, it said that it was going to be aged with pineapple, vanilla, brown sugar, Mauricio cherries added. Now, let's be honest. They've done crazier things before. So it's not that crazy.
That actually wouldn't have surprised me at all.
Right.
It sounds like something that would have leaned more towards the prop, to be honest with you. But
right.
That would have surprised me in the slightest bit.
And then the last one was a Bourbon County brown stout. Cordial stout. So basically, BCS aged with chocolate, cocoa nibs, and Amarena cherries added. So again, a cherry forward with chocolate. That sounded quite delicious to me. Yeah. Again, it didn't make the cut. So you have 5 there that did not make the cut. And I'm a little bit disappointed because some of those I really was hoping would happen. But let's get into what.
All I can say is, hey, quality control. If by chance these didn't make it, not because they're fake, but because they just didn't feel like it was ready, then I'm okay with that not being on there. Because I like seeing those fun off the wall things, because sometimes they really do work. Sometimes they, like the remember the Earl T from 2020, great, complete miss, but it's a fun idea. So if done properly, you take some of these things like the Bramble that was done.
Mm-hmm.
All the proprietors the past few years, and we'll get to the prop from this year, which also sounds completely crazy. But I'm not surprised by that. So I think this is really kind of cool. So
if you're watching this, comment below which of those 5 were you most sort of interested in seeing that didn't make it. I'm curious what you guys. For me, it would have been that sort of King of Kentucky, and also that pineapple upside down cake sounds so crazy that I kind of wanted to just try it. So
but fun, and anything Jack would have liked to see make the list. So that's kind of interesting.
Well, let's get into it. What everybody's waiting for. There's 5 this year. My initial thoughts on 5, Andy, is that yeah, it is a little bit disappointing, but it's going to help our wallet, right? We don't have to worry about buying 7 or 8 variants. I mean, there's been years, I think it was 2018, where there were 8 total bottles, including the base and prop. So that's a lot of whiskey you're paying a lot of money for this year. And I don't think any of these should be, that we're going to talk about, super expensive. There's no 2-year reserves. There's no double. One could possibly be a double barrel, but that's debatable. It doesn't say double barrel, I don't think. I don't think there's anything.
I think the one that you're referring to will be the most expensive, just because just getting their bottles are expensive. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's going to be upcharged just a bit more. But let's take a look. So do you want to go one at a time? You want to run down the list and then go after them?
Yeah, let me read I'll read the first one. You go the second one. Let's start with the OG, the base. And I will always say when we review these, we always start with the base, and the base kind of sometimes foretells or pretells what the entire lot will be, because it's all off of that base. Isn't that a song somewhere, Andy? It's all about the base. It really is all about the base. And here's what they say for this year. After crafting the very first bourbon barrel-aged imperial stout, Goose Island has learned that to have the best beer, you start with the best possible ingredients. Barrels are such an important ingredient, and they continue to use only the best their friends on the bourbon trail have to offer. The 2024 Bourbon County brand original stout is aged in a mix of freshly emptied bourbon barrels from Buffalo Trace, Heaven Hill, Four Roses, and Wild Turkey distilleries. Barrel aged for an average of 16 months, which is interesting. Bourbon County brand stout boasts deeply developing flavors of fudge, Jimmy will like that, vanilla, caramelized sugar, and rich decadent mouthfeel. It's coming in at, Andy, 14.7% this year. It will be everywhere you can find it. Hopefully you can find it for around $15 if they're honest. Sometimes they're higher, sometimes they're lower. Around us, it's usually around $15. Yep. They've been using those same 4 barrels for a few years now. I think it's why mess with something that works. That's my point.
Yeah, I liked it when they went. I think 2 years ago they shifted from 3 barrels to 4 and had the addition of the Heaven Hill, which I think was a great play to kind of pull that in. And they've been it's changing the dynamics and making the base offerings a little bit different, a little bit unique, which I think is great. So, in my opinion, and I'm going to go with you on this, if the base is strong, usually the rest of the variants fall right into play. I thought last year was a really nice year. I thought 17 was a great year. 18 had some good offerings. So I do think that
we did a 10-year vert from 10 to 20, and the 10 was our favorite.
we didn't have a whole lot there. So,
when you see that video, go back and check. We actually did a vertical of 10 through 20. Yeah. The outtakes are probably more funny than the video, but we did review each, and the 10 won for us. It was.
But a good thing is it shows the ageability of these beers.
Way more than 5 years. If you do it correctly in the correct temperature and you seal it, sort of, you can keep these for many, many years, and they get better for the most part.
Well, actually, I'm sipping on a 19 right now. This is a 2019 that I poured, and this thing is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, 19 was great. I got the 21. Mixed reviews on the 21. I know some people hated it. I don't hate it. I'm certainly not getting a lot of the. The finish does have still some of that sort of bittering chocolate notes that I know some people, or coffee notes that people don't love. They want more sweet fudgy notes. I still like it. I think it's a really nice. I
enjoyed it last year, and I'm actually curious to try a 21 this year, because I'll bet you it just got better. So I'm happy with that.
All right, Andy, what is the second one? The first variant we have. You want to read it, or do you want me to do it? You got it in front of you, or no?
I got you, little fellow. Don't you worry.
Right, what do you got?
Okay, so here's what we got on this one. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. When I heard this was being dropped, this by far instantly became my most anticipated of the lot this year. So this is the 2024 Bourbon County brand Vanilla Rye Stout, which I can't wait for it. They did this in 2014, and it kind of set the bar as one of their most sought after releases of all time. So just some notes on this. It's the tasting notes are rich vanilla, toasted almonds, lingering spice finish, and then ingredients for the Madagascar vanilla beans. They said it's been 6 years since Goose Island released one of its most celebrated BCS releases to date. Today, we're very excited to return the iconic member of this Bourbon County Stout family. Vanilla as an ingredient has an appearance in Bourbon County Stout lineup over the years, but the 2024 Bourbon County Stout Vanilla Rye is a new take on their 2014 Vanilla Rye release.
Yes.
So this year's release showcases rye and the complexity delivers by starting with a rye imperial stout and aging it in freshly emptied rye whiskey barrels. And after aging the barrels for a full year, the stout is then finished with incredibly aromatic Madagascar vanilla beans. So the Bourbon County Stout Vanilla Rye has the beloved attributes of the vanilla variants before it, with the new characteristics of the rich, spicy rye character that it gets from aging in those rye whiskey barrels. So I'm not going to lie to you. I am all in on this one. The ABV has not been released yet, so we'll get that closer to launch.
Yeah. Which I like. That means that they haven't actually dumped these yet, which I love the fact that they're fresh, right?
Yeah, but what I do like is that they do anything vanilla finished really, really well. But we've noticed that those rye, whenever they incorporate rye versus bourbon, sometimes it just has a much nicer play with the BCS, with the stout itself. Because those mixes of the spicy notes and all those kind of big rolled sugar notes are great.
Yeah, speaking of which, let me show. I mean, we didn't show a picture. Let me show a picture of this bad boy. I think this is going to get you even more excited if I can. Oh, maybe I can't find it. Can I find it?
No, we'll put the pictures up. Put the pictures up.
There you go, right there. Can you guys see that? I don't know if you can see that or not.
All right, there you go.
There you go. There it is. So I mean, it looks like everything else. It's going to be a white label, tan bottom, and they don't have the ABV yet, but. You're right. Back in 2014, I don't know if I've ever had the vanilla. Did we try the vanilla rye back in 2014? India? It would be something we probably would have purchased.
We did have it. We had it. We bought it, and remember we split it. We loved it.
Yeah, but then it came back. I thought, and just as a vanilla, not rye, but a vanilla stout in 18. Is that correct? Possibly. Am I wrong? Is that?
Yes, that wasn't a rye stout.
No, it was just a regular. I'm talking about an 18. Yeah. It was not a rye stout. It was just a regular It was aged in bourbon barrel.
You loved that. We both loved it. That was one of our favorites of the year.
Yes, exactly. So I'm excited for this one for sure. You're right. You said it right. They do vanilla really well. I love that it's in rye barrels. I think that's going to cut through some of the sweetness of the vanilla and should be a perfect marriage of those flavors. I'm really excited about this one.
I agree. I think this is easily the most anticipated of the lot this year. So it would not surprise me if it follows suit. High expectations on this one. So yeah, so this will be good. But I can't wait. So now the next one that you're going to take us on, Todd, a little journey here. I'm really curious about this one. This is a unique offering.
Do you want to? Is it the prop that you want to do, or do you want to do? You want to say that for last?
Say that for last.
Okay, so let's go then for the. Is it Bardstown? Is that what you're talking about?
No, it's the only one left because I thought go whatever one.
We are in different order. I'm sorry, Andy. Oh, there we go. I'm sorry. I just gave away the whole thing, but let's do it anyway. Why is everything?
Sorry, you did great, little fella. It's the one right after the one that I just read. But go ahead.
Yeah, why is it mine right there? Yeah,
you have to line up your pages 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Well, maybe you should just read. Oh, there it is. All right, so here it is. So, guys, it's the 2024 Bourbon County brand Macaroon Stout. Now, Andy, do you like macaroons? I do.
Yeah, I do.
So this, again, there's no ABV because they have to wait for that to be dumped and they'll figure out what it is. So they're not dumped yet. But there's nothing quite like the comforting aroma that fills the home when baking with family. Well, I don't know about that, but inspired by late nights in the kitchen with mom, Goose Island employee Paul Spiller sought to capture the sweet moment in this year's newest member of the Bourbon County brand stout family. Goose Island's 2024 county brand Macaroon Stout is an imperial stout aged for a full year in bourbon barrels before adding rich cocoa nibs. We all love our cocoa nibs, Andy. Sweet candied ginger and toasted coconut. This decadent stout is an homage to the flavors of homemade coconut macaroons with a twist of nostalgia. I tell you what, it's going to give you notes of that coconut and candied ginger. I mean, you know what a macaroon. And we say this before, we're home brewers by heart. That's how we started this channel. And I will say this, Andy, and I think you're going to probably agree with this and you'll express it as well. If you buy this variant, do not age it. Do not age it. Andy, why do you not age this stout?
Well, here's the thing. You can age it.
You can.
You're going to lose one proponent, and that's going to be one of the issues. So coconut is a flavor that dissipates really quickly when you're brewing. Yeah. So you're really if you want to have anything that you have that says coconut for a barrel-aged stout, you want to drink that thing as soon as possible because that's the first flavor that's going to go away. Now, the rest of the flavors that they're incorporating may stay and linger, but it's going to give you a different presence that probably isn't going to mimic a macaroon so well.
Thank you, man. Super chat. Appreciate that.
Yeah, but what I will say is sometimes these offerings they do like this really are fun. They really are. I mean, you're not looking so much for barrel presence, and we've said this before about the variants. So when I open up a regular BCS, or if I get a rye finish, or we do something that's a kind of a partnership with a distillery, I want those barrel notes to be popping off the nose. I want to taste that and feel that when I'm drinking it. When it comes to variants, I want the nose to be heavy on what I'm supposed to be drinking. So I want this to smell like a macaroon. I want to get the coconut. I want to get the chocolate note. So I don't want it to smell like a traditional BCS.
Are you worried about this one?
I'm not worried. I'm always anxious just to see what happens, because when they do it right, sometimes they knock these out of the park. When they do it wrong, it just quickly becomes a forgotten variant that kind of blends into a big sea of beers you won't buy again. So, yeah.
Tasting notes are toasted coconut, obviously, dark chocolate with a touch of sweet ginger. That's what I hope. I don't hope this thing is a ginger bomb, because that can very easily take over the beer. I mean, I'm thinking of Hardywood's, they do a great barrel-aged stout that has ginger, and it's really ginger forward, and it takes over. I worry that touch of ginger may take over.
Say this about cloves, okay?
Yeah.
It's the same thing. That the ginger notes can be really strong. Clove notes, there's certain spice additives that can completely overtake a beer. So,
but
if balanced right, it can be great.
I think this is going to be a very polar. It's either going to be done really, really well, or people are going to hate it. I think there's no in between on this one. I think it's going to be like, unless the flavors are just muted and you can't taste any of them, I think that's still I think then you'd be very disappointed, because if you like macaroons and you want that flavor, and I think it goes well with the base stout here, the chocolate, the coconut, the ginger, maybe. Yeah, I think it might work. I think this can be really, really good or really bad.
Truth be told, it's really just going to depend on how well they balance this thing.
Yes.
And it's going to be also, I'm sure they're hoping this thing is a winner, because it's going to be the most accessible outside of the base. So you can always tell which one they're going to have in every market. So when you go into your store on Black Friday and they're like,
I think
we got maybe, but I am guaranteeing you the macaroon will be the second most available of this entire file. I
will say the press release says all of these are national markets. Does that mean anything? I don't know.
They say that every year, and you're still not going to find them all at every spot. So I will tell you that this one will be accessible. So hope that it's good, because if it is, and it's going to be affordable. This will probably be on par with the OG, which is nice. So I think that's kind of cool.
All right. So Andy, what do we got up next? We've got 3. There's 2 more. Let's get into it.
You want me to go in order and do 4 next, or do you want to go 5? Whatever you
want to do. You take whatever one you want.
It doesn't matter. All right. Actually, I will go in order, because you know what? I know that I love this anyway.
You love the prop.
So yeah. So let me do that one. And we'll get to yours. So the Proprietor is a Chicago market release they do every year, and it's really experimental. It's something that everyone kind of gets a chance at Goose On to be very creative and innovative and put their spin on something. And the winner is selected. It gets put out in the Chicago market. We've had it the past 3 or 4 years, and they've all been sensational. And every year we're like, this isn't going to work. And every year it works. Yeah. So this year's is the first time I think they've done this either in a while or at all, but it's a Barleywine ale, which is going to be really exciting.
Never done a prop Barleywine, never.
Yeah. So, so this is, again, the ABV is not released yet. That'll be closer to launch. Taste notes: dried fruit, refreshing zest, delightful warm finish, tamarind, lime, guarlillo chili, and billet.
I don't want to say that. Palanchilio?
I'm probably butchering that, whatever.
Read the description. Maybe that'll give us a better idea. What
anyway, so here's what it is. Back in 2013, Goose On creators first did the Chicago exclusive release of the Bourbon County Brown Stout, Proprietor Stout. And that was born basically out of immense gratitude to their city and to celebrate the birthplace of the brewery. This year marks their debut, so it is the first time of a Barleywine under the coveted Proprietor's name. Having fallen in love with the popular Mexican spoon candy, brewer Colby Margratton crafted a recipe with Goose Island's bourbon barrel-aged barley wine that blends together tamarind, lime, chilies, and Palancillo. So let's know what the hell Palancillo is. So I'll have to look that up. But anyway, Chicago and the people who call it home are forever the source of inspiration in all that Goose Island does. And this is a reflection of that inspiration. Subtle dried fruit sweetness, refreshing lime zest, delightfully warm finish. This barley wine is decidedly Chicago. Well, I don't know if it's decidedly Chicago, but I do know that it sounds pretty damn cool. Like, I'm actually really excited to see chilies, sugar. Like this sounds like it's going to have a little bit of heat to it. I looked up the chili; it's on par, kind of, with a habanero. So, look, this could have just a slight hint of heat, a little bit of like kind of that citrus note that I think lime is something that would be fun to see how that works. But you get the sugar to balance it. I'm all about this one. I think this is the first time I've been excited about a prop, and I can't pronounce half the ingredients yet, but it sounds really cool. So
I will give you my take on this. There's a lot to take in here, right? I don't know half of these things that they're saying, so I don't know how to react to this. It's one of those things. I got to tell you, I don't know what this is.
This is a trust factor, right? So I think that I have. You
mentioned tamarind. I have no idea.
Tamarind's brown sugar, I think.
Wow.
Kind of like it's a form of brown sugar, I believe.
Whole Guajillo chilies. Don't know what that is. I know chilies. You say it's hot, and then Palanchillo. I don't know what that is. Okay, so I can't pronounce half the ingredients. I don't know how to think of this. You're right. This is a crazy mad scientist. I will say this though. You mentioned it earlier. We always say this to the prop, like that's never going to work, and then we taste it, and it's freaking amazing. Now, so how do you get this if you are not in the Chicago market? Well, there are sites out there. If you have friends in the Illinois, Chicago market area, find them. There's ways to get it. That's how we get it. We find people that live there. They're able to mule it to us, and we buy it. So it's plentiful in Chicago. Just find somebody or look on a site. You'll pay a little bit more, but you can get it if you really want it.
What is it, My Beer Finder? Or what is it called?
Yeah,
it's a great site to grab this stuff.
You can find these bottles. So again, I will save I will give you my ranking in a second, but I am so confused by this. I don't know how definitely butchered it. Yeah. I don't know how to pronounce it, or I don't know how to think I'm going to like this, but you're right. There have been so many years where we have said, I don't think this is going to be good. And it's completely wowed us. And in some cases was our favorite of the year. I can't say that this is going to be my favorite now, but I am certainly open to saying, hey, this is amazing once I try it.
Let's say this. Every year we have literally said this isn't going to work. And every year we've been blown away. And actually two of the past 3 years, it made our top of the list. So I'm not putting it past them anymore that if they do one thing right,
that is true.
Deciphering through what variants to put in this, I feel like they do a great job of picking the prop.
Can I say one more thing about this before we go on to the last one? I'm a little bit bummed that there's no other barley. We love barley wines, right? They do it really well. They do the wheat wines really well. There's no wheat. I really wish there was just a regular barley wine that was aged in something. And like this barley wine as the prop has so many other things in it. I don't know if you're going to be able to taste the sweetness and decadence and syrupiness of a barley wine. I assume this ABV is probably going to be quite high, maybe, but we'll see. And
I think that you have the OG, then you have the vanilla stout, which really, I mean, yes, you got the rye with the hint of just vanilla kicking in there.
Yeah,
it's not overpowered with other things. This is the only crazy off the wall. I know the macaroon sounds like it, but it's not that crazy. There's really 3 ingredients that are going to go on top of that. This is the only one that is throwing you for a curveball. I'm excited for it.
All right, so we have one left, guys. There is a voting for those people watching this live. You can vote and say which of the variants are you most looking forward to. Give us a vote, and we'll look at that at the end of the stream.
The spotlight's on there, little fella. What's we got next?
We've only got one more, which is crazy. There's only 5 this year, so
I'm liking this one.
And it's something we're very familiar with. It is the 2024 Bourbon County brand Bardstown Cask Finished Stouts. So, as the creators of the first bourbon barrel-aged stout, Goose Island has long sought to push the boundaries of what is possible in the world of beer. That's why when crafting this year's 2024 Bourbon County brand Cask Finished Stout, we were thrilled to work with our friends at Bardstown Bourbon Company. We're huge fans of them. They put out great whiskey. And drawing inspiration from Bardstown's modern and creative spirit in finished whiskeys, this Imperial Stout takes the same journey as their Origin Series Rye, which I love, you love, we all love. From there, they transferred the beer to hybrid oak and cherry wood barrels that finished their rye whiskey. So that's what Bardstown does, right? So this is sort of like a double barrel, Andy. This is kind of, they're not calling it that, but it is. These incredibly expressive barrels deliver a remarkable finish, unlike anything seen before in Bourbon County family. A beautiful, and I've lost the last page. Sorry, I will finish that. Balanced beer, Bourbon County brand, Bardstown Cask Finished Stout is deeply expressive with vibrant cherry, yes, toasted oak, yes, and lingering herbal finish. So They're saying that this one is going to have that cherry wood, that oak and cherry. So I'm curious what that vibrant cherry, toasted oak, and lingering herbal finish will do for this one. I don't know. I mean, we'll see. I would have rather have seen the Jack Daniels or maybe even the King of Kentucky, but it's all good. We'll see how this plays out. Again, another rye whiskey barrel.
Yeah.
That's infusing.
And look, this isn't their first foray with the cherry wood either. So they did that a couple years ago. It was really good. Actually, you may remember this one.
She's my cherry pie. Cool drinking water, such a sweet surprise. Tastes so good, make a grown man cry. Sweet cherry wood. You're not going to use that, are you?
Oh, somewhere now. I'll use that for something.
How long were you waiting to pull that out? God,
I didn't realize that until they said it was Asian cherry. I was like, I think I got something for that. But no, I remember that was actually really good. And so I'm actually excited just to kind of see how this one plays out. Bardstown's a winner, but Bardstown's expensive. So I am thinking of the 5 of these, take the prop away.
Bardstown, some of them, but their Origin series is not expensive.
By not expensive, explain.
Well, $65 a bottle for the rye whiskey in today's terms.
Let's be honest. Most of what they do is not cheap. I'm expecting this to probably be the most expensive and it should be of the 4 variants. This will probably be the most expensive.
Yeah, they don't say how long it's put in that cherry wood. The double.
I'm not sure that even matters because one is always kind of a kick in the teeth price point wise, and so I'm not sure what to think of that. But
no 2-year reserve. They don't say a double barrel.
I know we've had 30-year anniversaries. We've had the Knob Creek. So I get all that, but I'm just saying usually one is the wallet crusher. This might be it. But that being said, I'm excited about this one. I think it's going to be good.
All right. Well, let's wrap it up. We will, again, guys, have all of 5 of these variants before they're released on Black Friday. Yes, that's when they're released every year. Sometimes they're a little bit earlier, but we will have them in plenty of time for you guys to see what we think of each one, good, bad, or indifferent. So always hit that like button, hit the subscribe and bell so you see them come out. We'll probably start releasing them early to mid-November, well in time for you to see and get your idea of what you want to go after.
Really?
And maybe all 5, maybe 4, maybe 3. We'll see once we try them. Andy, as we end this video, let's go over. I want to hear. Don't worry, the base. Take the base out. We're always intrigued by the base.
Sure.
Of the 4 variants, can you rank them for me?
If I had to go quickly, it would be most excited would definitely be the Rye Stout by far. The vanilla Rye Stout. I think it's going to be that's the most anticipated. Number 1.
And your number 2.
Number 2 is Bardstown.
Okay.
Number 3 is the prop, and number 4 is the macaroon.
All right, so I'm going to be a little bit different from you. The prop is number 4 for me, and I'm going to put an asterisk next to that, knowing that I usually do that. For me, I am not. You usually are. You love that sort of craziness of the prop. I'm not there, and I usually think it's amazing. So asterisk. I'm saying it's my least one I'm looking forward to, but it usually is going to wow me and blow me away. So it has the most upside of all these, I think, because my expectations are so low. So that's 4 for me. 3 is actually going to be the Bardstown. Now, listen, it's not because I don't love Bardstown, and it's not because I don't love the rye whiskey. We'll see. It maybe what will that do to the base? That extra sort of oak and cherry.
You love sweets, so you're all excited. You have a sweet tooth, so I'm assuming number 2 is going to be your macaroon. Yeah,
it is macaroon. I love I love toasted coconut and barrel aged beers and in stouts. And when it's done well, it is fantastic. If they hit this, I think that macaroon stout is going to be absolutely amazing. And then of course the number 1, it's one of my favorites of all time, the vanilla Rye Stout. Guys, that is the one you want to buy 1, 2, 3, 4, and just load up.
Hope, because I'll tell you, they haven't screwed it up yet. So the pressure's on BCS, but man, they are. And that 2014 was a gem. The 2018 was beautiful, even though that wasn't the rye, that was a bourbon. But I mean, every time they touch vanilla, it usually is a home run. Add that with the rye, it's even better. So I'm with you on that. That's definitely both of our most anticipated of the 2024 lot. So, all
right, well, comment below what you guys are most interested in. We have a few more. Until it's out, November, whatever Black Friday is, that's when they'll be out.
Yep.
Comment below which one you guys are really interested in, which ones you don't want to buy, and we'll go back and forth.
Oh, and Todrick, until next time.
Oh, and there will be next time, Andrew.
Cheers, in.
Rock on. Oh yeah, that's good.
Okay, you guys can start. We can start acknowledging the chat now. We
took our kids.
we do this. We do this once in a while. So sorry.
Not very often. Well, I did see one thing I want to point out is Saucy is drinking a cola stout. Do you remember the cola, Andy? You mentioned that I think in this video. That back what year was that? Saucy, what year was the cola? I'm curious.
It was 21, was it?
I don't know. I can't remember now. I mean,
21, yeah. No, I mean, or was it? No, I'm sorry. It's 2024. It was last year, wasn't it? It was 23 or 22.
Cola was not last year. Cola was not last year. I think it was 22.
22.
Or 23. I don't know.
I don't get confused. There's too many of these things.
My point being is you mentioned in this video, we all saw Cola Stout. We're like, this is going to be awful. And I loved it. You loved it. And Saucy said it's hitting really good right now. Cola was 21. See, there you go. Cola was 21. Jimmy, did you like the Cola? I can't remember. I don't remember. Anyway, what are you guys most excited for? Let me look up and see what if you haven't voted yet, I'm curious what the chat's saying, and I will look real quick.
Yeah, the Rye is probably going to be good. The Cola is 21. Yeah, so Jimmy said that. That's
was it really?
Yeah, 21. So yeah, Biscotti. So Rye guys here said the Biscotti was good. Yeah, I didn't mind the Biscotti. That was pretty good.
That was. I agree. I think that was. Good.
I'd be curious to see how that would age. To be honest with you.
All right, we got close to 60 votes, and the Vanilla Rye Stout has about half. 45% say Vanilla Rye Stout, Andy, which I think that makes sense. It's
fair. It's a great combination, right? You get the spicy notes, you get the sweet notes, you get the base of the Bourbon County Rye Stout. Like, I think that's going to be a fantastic pour. So
yeah, 24% said Macaroon Stout, 22% said the Bardstown Rye, and then only 9% Proprietor. I agree. Listen, first of all, the Proprietor is such a limited release, and it's crazy. I can see why it only has 9% of the vote. Yep. Guys, we'll look at this at the end of the night. And as you guys are watching this live here, we will do our best to get all 5 of these for a giveaway for one night when they release, right, Andy? We will purchase
we'll get a couple and we'll try and send them out so somebody wins the whole lot. So that if you can't get the product or whatever one of the variants, we'll have it so you can win them here on our live stream the week that they drop Bourbon County Stout. So we always do that. And thank you for hanging in there. So Ben, if you're wondering, because you got here in the middle of we didn't forget the chat. We do this once a year where we just kind of we pull the chats off and we do this, and we're gonna turn this into a quick kind of release video.
Yeah.
So the funny thing is, I feel like every time they drop these, we're never together. We're either on vacation or someone's apart. I don't think we've done one of these yet where we're actually together. And this time we happen to be less than a mile away, but we still didn't get to do it together, which is kind of funny. So
real quick, Brent, that was not a barley wine. It was a wheat wine, which is a little bit different.
It's similar, but sweeter is basically, if you're looking at the wheat wine, it's going to be a little bit sweeter.
It was also amazing. And I've got one down here. And yes, I wish they would do that again because it was fantastic.
The wheat wine that was finished in larceny, that was
one. But he's talking about the apple pie one. There was an apple pie one.
That was good too, but I really love that larceny finish. Was fantastic.
All right. So that being said, keep voting. We hope you guys enjoy the Bourbon County Stout content once we get closer to that in November.
Love it. I know that we're very kind of whiskey centric in a lot of the things that we do, but of course, beer is kind of our first love, and so I'm really. Yeah, we get to keep doing this. So yeah.
What was Jimmy's favorite from last year? I'm curious. Well, I don't even remember what our favorite was from last year. I can't remember. I can't even remember what was our favorite from last year, Andy. Was it the prop again?
The prop won last year. Yeah,
I think it did. I can't remember what it was about, but I remember it blew me away, and I couldn't believe I loved it. Earl Grey. Oh, the Earl Grey was. I didn't like that at all. Ugh.
No, I did not. Did somebody like the Earl Grey?
Jimmy's just saying. I think the Earl Grey and the 21 base have been my biggest letdowns. I can see why the 21 because you loved 20 so much, and the 21 was a completely different stout and barrel. I mean, that happens. I mean, but I don't mind this 21 at all.
I think last year the ones that stood out was the Eagle Rare.
Oh, was that last year?
That was last. That was last year. Yeah.
Was it anyway?
And that was because that was a 2-year stout that was fantastic.
Okay.
And then you like the bananas one last year? Like I wasn't.
Yes. Bananas Foster Stout was fantastic.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, that's what it was called. It was called the Caramella. That was the apple pie.
Yes, the caramel was insanely good too.
Gregory, very good point.
Yeah.
Yes, it was awesome.
Last year was the prop one. Remember that was the rice pudding one. Remember we said that'll never work, and that ended. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. So
Oh gosh, should go back and see the last few years didn't make it and see if any of them are. Yeah, you know what? That's what I mentioned.
That should be fun. Yeah,
I think we should because I believe they do have. Like, they throw out some ones we went through today. I'm wondering, will we see a Jack Daniel's triple mash or Jack Daniel's or a King of Kentucky in the next couple of years? Once it's like 2 years, like where do they get that from? They have their label, they have their logo. There's some kind of licensing already in there. So my guess is you will see those. And we should go back. Was there a Bardstown a few years ago? I bet you there was. I bet you there was a Bardstown fake label.
You know what? I'm not. Well, but this isn't a 2-year Bardstown, so I don't know. So maybe not. So I'm not sure. But we'd have to check. But yeah, I mean, and then Angel's Envy was good last year too. When I was in, I went to Angel's Envy in Louisville, and I sent Todd a picture. They have a ton of them on display where you can still buy them.
A ton of them.
The BCS, which is kind of fun. So yeah,
there's a palate cleanser because I'm changing gears.
All right, I have to finish my beer, but I have a feeling I know what you're changing gears
to. I'm going to beer for a nightcap after because it'll just stay there just good. I don't have to worry about that. That'll be there when I get done this stream and watching my Netflix. So we have a few of our friends in the basement. Anybody else who's gotten, Andy, if you want to tee this up, go ahead. High and Rye is out, and people are getting it.
So since Jimmy's here, let's let him tee it up.
All right, there it is. So listen, here, I want to do this right now. For any super chats, I'm going to do this. There is actually a few bottles of this left, which honestly, I'm kind of surprised that it's still available a week later, but there are a few left. We'd love to sell it out very soon. And then we'll do this. Super chats tonight. We don't really have anything. I will give away a bottle of this for any $5 super chat. We'll give away a bottle of High and Rye. If you haven't got a bottle, you didn't want to buy a bottle, $5, you can get into it. We've had, one super chat? Matt J for $2. He's in. Any super chat, we'll put in $5. We'll give you one entry in for a bottle of High and Rye. We just picked up a bunch of ours today. I'll give one away.
Put that beautiful label up, Todd.
Look at this bad boy.
Those socks really stick out.
I mean, who wouldn't love me and a Speedo and socks and Beavis and Butthead and Alf and Andy and Christopher David and Christian? And listen, I mean, one thing we've learned, there was a lot of bottles in this, and we sold a lot. There's only a few left, and thank you guys for that. But there's still some left, and we want to get this thing sold out because we have Corbin Cash coming next very soon. Corbin Cash. Yes, Corbin Cash is coming, but maybe you want to back up and you don't want to pay for it, but here's your chance for $5.
Maybe you were going to buy one just now, but because Todd said this, you decided not to pay full price, and Todd screwed the pooch, jumped the shark, and F the whole thing up again.
Hey,
so thanks for collaborating with me before you make these calls. You know what? This business sense, you have zero, so that's okay. So now you have no incentive to buy one until after the show is over because you could win one. So why would you spend that money? So
that's not true at all. These people support us. A lot of them.
Let's see the politician's speech. Here it comes.
I'm just saying, it's just an added perk. If you want $5, you can get in. And there you go. Got to get it back. See, Ganny says got to get a backup, right? So there you go. Maybe you've already got one, and just maybe $5. I'll take a chance for a backup. Yeah, I love it that much. We're actually going to bring on some of our friends who have the bottle. So some people have gotten it, and I love the fact. What do you?
Here we go, laughing at you, but this is great, John Kerry. Keep going.
Drinking some whiskey. Come on, bring on our guests. They've got the High and Rye, the first still Austin Rye cask strength single barrel to leave the state of Texas. One of the first bottles ever.
I'll tell you, that got people. They're chatting, so thank you. So we got people excited here all of a sudden because this is going to be the cheapest bottle of High and Rye you've ever purchased. So
That's right. There you go.
We got a bunch, so I appreciate that. That's good news.
Let's go. I like that. Mine doesn't. One person I saw today, Andy, they got a bottle that didn't have the label on it. So you have any extra labels that I can send out to this one person? I don't know how that.
I do.
Good. I will.
In the meantime, thanks for being elite. Thanks for super chatting us. Thanks for your support. We love you.
I got a quarterback option with elite sauce.
Elite sauce? That's me. I'm elite.
There you go.
All right.
It's
I'm going to pop my. This is a.
Oh, thank you, Corey.
Right
here. Who doesn't want a picture of me in socks and a Speedo nail filter? Yeah, that's true. I shouldn't have said that. I'm sorry. But listen, I hope you guys, when you get it, and we've got a couple of our friends below who have received it. You saw Anthony last week, who was local and drove down. Believe me, I drove down to Sharedport today. That's not an easy drive to make.
Do you know how mad he was at me? I'm here with my kids by myself, and I couldn't make it with him. And he's pissed off because I couldn't chauffeur him down, as he told me he doesn't like to drive to DC, so he likes to be driven, so I can drive down.
I don't like driving. Period.
So mad.
Shut up. I do. Did I do it? Did I do it?
You did do it. You did it for the viewers, and I appreciate that.
I did it for the channel. Yeah, so I did it. And so, yeah, I'm super excited about getting these out to you guys. So anybody from Texas or Tennessee, you'll be getting your barrels. We'll let you know the shipping charges. We're going to do it as cheap as possible we can. But, we want to get it out to you. So they'll probably be going out the next day or two. I've just got to get...
He's sending them back. These bells have flack on. He's returning them. So.
Oh no, Sugar Kitty! Does she? Oh, has he got his? It does. Does that have flacco? It does have.
Of course, it has flacco on it. Of course, what are you talking? Of course, it's got the greatest quarterback of all time, the GOAT. And by the way, learn how to spell his name. Do the man justice. There's 2 C's.
Oh God, Derek,
anyway,
thank you, buddy. Really appreciate. How many bottles less did you get?
Listen. Listen. Did you hear it?
That was a Canada.
Winnipeg.
Oh, Winnipeg. That was a Winnipeg. Derek, thank you. Really appreciate that. Joe, we'll be actually. Joe, can I say? Well, I'm going to say it anyway.
Don't do it.
I'm just saying we're going to be at this weekend with Whiskey Row.
Their address is 274.
It's going to be a fun time. I'll post pictures on Patreon. I'm excited. I love those guys. It's going to be a great time. We're going to be drinking a lot of whiskey and doing a lot of blinds, and I can't wait. Think and Kathy, thank you for putting this on. I love it. I'm sorry. I'm excited.
There are none of those 8 billion charger stations for Todd's Prius in DC. I think that was the problem. He doesn't like, because his Prius doesn't have a lot of room. So I don't think he enjoys driving down there but it's easier to park in your Prius than my really big extended Super Crew truck. I feel like it's easier for you to park.
Shared floor. It's in basically Georgetown off of 23rd Street. I don't know. It's in a very populated area. There's no parking besides on the side of the street. And the grace of God, I was like, Andy, I was in my Ford Explorer. I was like, where am I going to park this?
Who'd you borrow a Ford Explorer from?
Shut up, Richard. And there was this one small spot like at the corner, and it was like on the stoplight. And I was like, screwed, I'm backing in. And I rushed into Sharedport real quick. And I said, I'm parked right there. He's like, you better put on your hazards and open it, because they will like tow you. And I was in there for like 20 minutes because they had to put the stickers on all these bottles. I'm like, can you hurry up the process? But they were great. Got them all. We're home. Anyway, enough of that. Bring on our guest, Andy. Gosh, sorry.
You're a happy little fellow. Well, here we go.
Robert!
Hey, what's up?
How are you? Where'd your better half go?
Dog care.
Got it. Guys, everybody,
night.
Say hello to Robert and Kate when she comes back. You guys, there's Kate. Hi, Kate.
Hey, guys, how are you?
So you guys got
you have a bottle right down in front of you with Todd in the Speedo and socks. Do you feel like some of the people out there that it gets a little inappropriate to be drinking this, or are you enjoying it? I'm trying to figure this out.
Be inappropriate to drink that?
Well, I mean, I think this may be the reason it didn't sell so quickly was because of the label, because of Todd, in a Speedo. I think it scared people a little bit, which that's got to be the reason. I can't think of any other reason. Maybe it's the socks, the SPF he didn't wear. I can't tell.
Not much the Speedo. It's absolutely the socks. You don't dive into it wearing socks.
Well, I wear them on the beach, Robert, because I burn my feet sometimes and forgot that. I did it one time where I didn't put sunscreen on my feet and I got them burned, and we had to go out the beach the next day. And what are you going to do? You can't wear shoes on the beach. So I put socks on, and no one let me that down. I have to.
No socks on the beach, Todd.
I have that cross to bear the rest of my life now. I don't know what to tell you. So one thing I learned is I always make sure I put sunblock on my feet because that's
Smart
bad.
man.
I mean, that's anyway. So
And JG says that your nickname for your Prius now it makes sense is Ford Explorer. So that actually makes sense. Now
there's nothing wrong with a Prius, but I don't have one. So I'm just saying that. That's all.
it's all
Anyway, you guys have the High and Rye. You've been drinking it. Robert, I love you, but I know Kate is a Rye girl, so to speak. So, Kate, I'm curious.
I think it's delicious. It's really smooth. I really like the peppered note that I normally get from Still Austin, but there's still like a salted caramel that makes it a little bit sweeter and really approachable.
There you go. God, look at that. I love it.
That's great. That's a good review.
I agree. I think it's really approachable. Now, I say that, when you say approachable, it's like, oh, that's not what I want. But it's 116 proof. It will do the trick. I find it just very drinkable. And the finish is where I think it makes you want to come back for more. And that's a great thing here. It really, the sweetness that you get up front is washed away by a lot of the sort of the peppery rye spice mid to back palate. And then the sweetness comes back on the finish to me that makes me want to come back for another sip. Robert, what are you getting out of this? You sent me a really nice text with your tasting notes, and I really appreciated that. What are you getting out of this bottle now that you've opened up a little bit?
I'm still getting the same things, and I will agree with the finish on it's my favorite part because it reminds me of a spiced cake.
Yes.
But years ago, Bluebell Ice Cream made a spiced cake ice cream, and bringing that straight back with that vanilla ice cream base with all those baking spices, so you get a bit of a ginger spice, a bit of a nutmeg that kind of rolls through with this vanilla. You're like with that little bit of that mint cooling sensation. You're like, that's spice cake. It's so good.
And the thing is, this is only a 3.5-year-old rye. So my question, I kind of asked this to Christian last week. I can't wait for this to be 4 or 5 years, what their ryes will taste like, because again, that Texas heat just accelerates everything. I mean, even look at the color of this. It's not even a 4-year-old rye whiskey.
Well, it's not just the heat in Texas that does it.
It's the swings.
My parents live down there in that area, and it can be literally 80 degrees in the day and 40, 30 degrees at night.
It's crazy.
And they can just do these massive swings, and they can have just absolutely awful winters followed by blistering summers.
Yeah.
They definitely have a massive swing of temperature down there. So there's definitely a lot of expanding and contracting going on in that oak barrel.
That's awesome.
The nice thing is, so there's very little dormancy. So this thing is always working. Like the barrel is always imparting flavor. So we talked to the folks out at Wyoming Whiskey, and they were saying, we sit dormant for a good portion of the year just because it's so bloody cold. And so it's going to take us naturally longer for this thing to kind of come into fruition. And they even remember they made the mistake of releasing their very first offering too early. And I think that was after 4.5, 5 years, and it wasn't ready yet. Whereas Still Austin, they can't wait that long because it is ready, which is really kind of fun to kind of see how that plays out, because it's starting to showcase wine is great at terroir and the climate and weather and all this stuff. But for whiskey, you think Kentucky. So now that everyone is starting to do whiskey, you start to really see the influence of the weather, the climate, and all these things that kind of take part in influencing the whiskey. So, and Still Austin's a great example of that, which is really kind of cool. So you can't knock it, because a 12-year at Still Austin is going to be three quarters of it gone to Angel Share, and it's going to be an oak bomb. So you got to be kind of careful with what you wish for.
You're a wine guy, so you know that skin contact is needed for a very full-bodied red wine.
Correct.
Too much can be something that a few people will very much enjoy, but the majority of people will be like, "This is just too much for me. I can't do it."
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting to see them set aside a few barrels just for the what's going to happen.
And I think they will. That was we have the Corbin Cash coming out soon too, and David Souza said the same thing, because Atwater not quite as hot on a consistent basis as Austin, but still they get blistering summers.
Where are they in California?
They're about 2 hours
Atwater.
inland from Oakland in Atwater. So we're
They're in the valley. They're in the valley.
yeah, but they're landlocked. So you fly into Oakland and you drive east about 2.5 hours, and then you get to Atwater.
It's south. It's south and east, or is it just due east?
Yeah, I don't have my compass there, buddy. But it's 2.5 hours from Oakland, and it's east, somewhere up or down.
A rye fan, I can't wait for you to try this Still Austin 9.5-year rye at like 100. So I hope the proof doesn't scare people. It's 138 proof when we picked it. It could be a little bit higher.
Well, it's also a very small yield because, again, the angel share really did take effect there, and we're talking about $1.28 as far as a yield because you lost a lot of that to the angel share. Amazing. What was that?
The humidity is probably pretty low there, so your wood's going to shrink. So you're going to lose a good bit to evaporate.
Yep. Correct.
Yeah. So, but again, it was absolutely glorious, and very different from what I thought was the coolest thing about that. And so I'll be curious to see what happens with Still Austin, because the difference between their 6 and 7 year offerings and then their 9+ year offering.
Corbin Cash, not Still Austin.
Yeah,
correct. That's what I'm talking about.
Well, you started
vastly different. So I'll be curious, like I said, to see what Still Austin's look like at that time frame, because it's a completely different whiskey and unlike anything I've ever had from them before. And I think that's what's cool when the age finally starts to dictate, is this going to be an oak bomb and not what everybody likes, or is this going to give me something complex that people are going to go crazy for? I think it's the latter on this for Corbin Cash, so I'm excited. But I do think it'll be interesting to see what happens with Still Austin as they do start to age some of these. I think Joe Graves said, what's the oldest thing they have there? I don't know that answer 100%, but I know they're working on trying to put out more 5+ year offerings.
Austin has 5 barrels. I know that for sure.
5 year. I think. I know Nancy's working with 6 years.
I'm sure they have older stock that they don't always tell you about that may not even be available, but I think the majority of what they have now is kicking into that 5-6 year range.
You got to read what Sugar Kitty said about our.
They have 2 aging warehouses over there. Don't they?
Like an East European ones
upstate.
Where's it?
One that's outside.
I don't, Andy, where the rack houses for Still Austin, they're like 35-40 minutes outside of Austin, right?
Correct. They're not. It's not in Austin, so it's outside of Austin.
There's multiple houses, but they're all in the same area, Robert. They're not far from each other. I don't think, right? They're not 2 different.
I thought they had one up there. That was northwest towards the New Mexico border. I thought they had something out there that they were dealing with.
No,
but
not where we've been there, right? You've been there. You've only been to the 2 rack. The area that you've been to is the same place each time, right?
That's the only one that I know that exists right now. I didn't know that because they were building on that ground. Spring Farms, I think, is what the name of it is. It's about 40 miles outside of Austin. And at the time when we did the Pour Some Austin on Me, they had 3 rack houses built with room for expansion. They're up to now 8.
Oh, well, here, Alec, great Patreon member, and Andy sent me. This is, by the way, it's
a collective us there, Todd. That's what happens when you sign till death do us part, you ass, and you need to share that shit.
I'll share it with you. I paid for it. This is their Madeira cask finish. Look at the color of this. This is a 2.5-year-old rye whiskey.
Color alone. Look at the label on that thing.
Yes. Look at that.
That is pretty
I just put up a short of it. Look at this. Look at
the artwork on that thing is amazing.
It's amazing.
It was a tattoo artist that did that, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I mean, just amazing stuff. Alec, thank you. And Mr. Great Shot's gotten us a lot of bottles as well. He got me this bottle. And listen, it was a distillery only. It was online, and I didn't want to bother Mark. I kind of actually forgotten about it, but Alec had texted me and said, I'm here now. I tried it. It's freaking amazing. Do you want a bottle? And I'm like, yes, I want a bottle. And so he thankfully sent us this. And it is, I thought the Ruby Red Port was better. This may be better. I don't know which one I like. But I'm telling you, they know what they're doing down there, man. This is an amazing finished whiskey. It's 11 months in those Madeira casks. And it's just.
So speaking of Asian whiskey from Still Austin, this high end rye is fantastic. And instead of buying it now, Todd has offered again for super chats. He's just going to send you a bottle. So
Well, I also will throw in a nice 2-ounce sample of this Madeira cask.
Oh, look at that! Look at that!
Yes, not only our single barrel, but also this 2-ounce. And I'm telling you, this may be one of my top finished whiskeys of the year so far. We're only in July, but I mean, just look at the color of this.
Look at that!
It's a 2.5-year-old rye whiskey that is an age. So it's a 3.5-year-old rye whiskey. I mean, here's the difference. I mean, well, there's not a ton of difference in colors. This is ours. There's a little bit.
The other one's more of a coffee.
Yeah, look at it. So ours is a 3.5-year-old rye whiskey. This is a 3.5-year-old whiskey that has 11 months in a Madeira cat. It's so good. I wish we could get it easier. And if you live near Still Austin, you're lucky.
And you know what? Since you're throwing that in there to sweeten the pot.
Yes, Andrew. What are you doing?
Todd will throw in a pair of his white socks from his his drawer. The exact pair that we put on there, Todd will send you with our bottle of High and Rye and the Madeira finished. He's also going to send you. See, William's all in that. He heard the socks. He's like, hell yeah, get me in on that. You can have the socks that Todd wore for that photo that he will send to you, that he protects his precious little Tootsies in his Prius and on the beach at his daddy's beach house. He will send you those socks because he loves them.
They're unwashed now.
Yeah, just make sure they're washed.
Oh, Willie, sign them. I'll if you want socks from me, I'll sign them. No one wants socks from me. I can do that.
Hey, you know what? No, he will sign those socks. He'll sign them. Todd, that's great. People want those socks. I mean, look, what say you, Todd? What say you?
I say if you really want me to sign socks, one, they'll be new. They won't be used. And I'll sign them, but I'm not giving a pair of my...
This is the greatest giveaway in the history of 21090. You get a pair. This is better than Kurt Schilling's bloody sock when he was on the Red Sox. We got Todd's Prius sock from the beach. This is actually perfect. I'm loving this. This is great. Wonderful. Good stuff.
All right. So there you go. All right. So Andy, not to move off topic, but I am very excited for the Corbin Cash. So we've gotten a few questions about what's next, when is Corbin Cash coming? Andy, maybe you can shed some light on what's going on with now that this is out, and there are still some available. So if you want to back up, if you try them, there's less than 20 left, which is surprising to us. But hey, it'll be gone soon, and that's great. Thank you guys for supporting us and getting this barrel sold. What's next, Andy?
Well, first of all, I don't know. I did not realize but international shipping law prevents the socks from being included in the package without a nuclear waste team accompanying the delivery socks. So Sugar Kitty, always full of knowledge, kind of helping us out here. So thank you, because I didn't realize that.
Damn,
but it just makes it even better. So yeah, Tally has one pair of socks. Daddy's beach has got. This is pure gold.
Can we?
Would you throw in a pair of your old shoes because you got to do it every year for your birthday?
I'm not sending my. What's going on here? What's going on here? I'm not sending my shoes to anybody.
This is the greatest gift package of all time. I don't know. All right, I'll let you figure out what you're giving away.
Okay. Nobody wants a pair of my shoes or socks. They may want this. They definitely want the rye, and I'm sure they want both.
You'd be surprised at the weird shit people like, Todd. So this might actually have. So this is fine.
Eric, good to see you, buddy. Cheers, everybody. And all right, so Andy, again, for our Patreon members or those that maybe are considering to be Patreon members, what do we have next coming up for single barrel picks? So we've done a lot. I mean, we went to Kentucky 2 weeks ago, and we will talk about that in a little bit. But what is immediately coming up in schedule? What do we got?
What I'm hoping is next is we do have the Corbin Cash Rye has been bottled. So now I'm hoping that gets shipped in August for a very early September release.
Oh, we don't know. We don't really know. Yeah, you're right. We don't know.
Well, don't ask me to give information. I'm not going to give anything false. I will say this is what I think is going to happen, and so we will see. Because as we thought with Still Austin, okay, shoes, socks. I have to.
Right, if you win, I will send you a pair of shoes and socks if you really want them.
Oh my God, the shoes are coming. I might throw in $5 just to see what happens. This is great. He's throwing in his shoes, and you guys don't understand.
I only have one
pair of shoes every single year. It's his gift. If he buys himself, he wraps and gives his wife, and his wife gives it to him. So it's really kind of special then you can get a pair of these shoes.
I need to get another pair of shoes. You know that, right? I have to get another pair of shoes, and I won't have a pair of shoes to wear, Andy.
Well, you're going to have to ask for an early gift for maybe instead of your birthday, this will be a Christmas gift. You can buy your shoes early.
It's a gift you don't get all year, Clark. All right, Andy. So Corbin Cash 9-year. We think that's 138.5 proof, maybe 139. I will say this about that Corbin Cash. And Kate, you're a rye gal. I'm a rye guy. It may be the best rye I've ever had in my life.
Definitely have to check it out.
Yeah, definitely would have waited until Still Austin sold out for that nugget too. But you're batting 1,000 tonight, so keep going. What else do you have to say there, Todd? We're doing good, sock boy.
What'd you just say?
I said I'd have waited on that nugget until the Still Austin was sold out, but keep going. You're doing good.
Andy, listen. What do you want to say here? I'm being honest with you. I'm not going to hold back. I think it is amazing, and I think this is amazing. It's a completely different rye whiskey. It's a different rye grain. I mean, it's Merced versus their Texas, whatever their name is. But I'm just saying.
The good thing is, I don't think people give a rat's ass about winning this bottle anymore. They just want your stupid socks and shoes.
Are you freaking kidding me? Am I really going to send shoes?
You sure are, dude.
No, I can't send shoes.
I mean, for a signed pair of Todd socks and a golden ticket to Daddy's Beach House. Look at that.
My God. Whatever.
But
anyway,
if you
he may even give you a spin around Coastal Highway in his Prius.
Robert, what'd you say?
If you buy the Still Austin, we'll give you a 0.08 discount on the Corbin Cash.
Was
that like 30 cents?
Sure. Yeah. I don't even know what that equates to, but yes. Well, the good thing is we were also worried, though, that
you buy it now. Yeah, you have to buy it now.
Yeah.
You do want to back up.
Thank you. There you go. Kate. See, Kate's doing the. See, Kate. Put it on Kate. She's selling it for us.
Mm-hmm.
Now, listen, one of the things is for us to continue to do these picks is we need to sell them. And you guys came through. I actually thought it would be sold out, but it's not. It's okay.
So Joe Gray says, so Todd, don't buy the Still Austin Rye. Wait for the Corbin Cash. Thanks for the advice.
Joe already bought one. That's all good, so I don't care.
Joe only bought one? I find that hard to believe.
You need to.
You only bought one. It's fine. Times are tough around here. I get it. No, it's okay.
We opened it today.
Exactly.
We opened it around 8.
I told you. It's great.
I will say this about this pick.
I'll drink with you guys. Let's go.
This is a dangerously easy bottle to kill. So you can wake up with a wicked hangover in the morning from this bottle, because it's a high proof, but it drinks really nice.
There is no on the proof. Like, you're just sipping along. Robert said it's 116. I was like, no way.
No way, right? No way. I can't wait for everybody to get this, and maybe we'll do this again next week. But all right, so that's coming, and then we also have the old line, which Robert, you were there. You were at old line pick. I can't remember what was your favorite of the 5. What did you choose in what was your rank? Do you remember what your ranking was?
I think B.
Which was what? That was the winner. That was the 8.5-year single malt.
Was it B the winner?
Yes. So we had 2 single malts. We had
I know my I don't know if it was B then, because I think the winner I had was the one that was second place, because I thought B was
that was the Saltern. It was the Saltern's finish then, possibly. Was that it? Andy, I can't remember. Do you remember what the order was?
Saltern's was number 2.
Second, and then so it was. We had 5. There was 2 single malts, 8.5-year and 7.5-year. We had the Saltern's cask. We had the VDN, and then we had the port.
Now, there was definitely the one that its flavor was above the rest. Its single flavor was above the rest, and it was delightful, nice long finish. And that was one that won. For me, I kind of enjoyed the one that had, I'm kind of weird, I'm a Finnish guy, but it had a lighter finish to it. But it had a little bit more flavors going on in the mid-profile, which I really enjoyed. But, I mean, you're trying to pick the most pretty $100 bill in on a lineup. It was a really, really hard thing to do. And I picked one and went, I give up at this one. And they're like, well, I think it's this one. I'm like, you're right. It's that one.
Let me ask you guys this.
There it is. There's the malt through the night that we picked with the patrons. This was delicious. So that So release date not yet available, but that is coming. But this is going to be the next one probably dropped. There's your Rye and Affection.
Oh my God! Look at it. We're idiots. We're a bunch of idiots. We're Nelson. We're Nelson. We are Nelson.
Todd, that's what could have been, Todd. That's what could have been.
I didn't.
And then shortly after that, we are looking at the hazmat, the appetite hazmat.
That is, I think, the way killer. If you like bourbon and you like hazmats, good God, it hasn't been even bottled yet. It's over 8 years now. It's not going to be probably bottled until September or October. September probably, I guess, is what they're telling us, right, Andy? Because they need to get they've never done a label for their bourbon, so they have to make the labels for this single barrel.
Well, they haven't done. No, they
have never done it.
They do have a bourbon label.
They don't have a single barrel bourbon label. They do not. Lost Lantern was their own label.
Okay, well, fine. Either way,
okay,
whatever the deal is, there's some things they need to clear up first, and there's also a bottle shortage that they don't have right now. They're waiting to get the new bottles for their hazmat, which is coming. So that's not going to be available quite yet. They have bottled the 9.5 year plus rye, which is absolutely fantastic. That's going to be released first, so we're going to be able to spread those out, which I think is a good thing. So that's you guys are going to go crazy about the Corbin Cash picks too. They are really good. Todd's online; they're fantastic. No. But yeah, we want to get rid of this Still Austin first, and so because the bourbon went fast. I'm not going to lie to you. I love the Pour Some Moss on Me bourbon. I actually enjoy this more. I think this is a little bit better. So if you liked that one, that's a good question. I'm sorry. Let me go back. Which skull was Todd? I'm going to try to help you out here. Just I'll let you decide which one you think.
Go through this. Take a look. Andy. Bobby is on the left. Bad Axe Bourbon. He's got the fire hat with his nice mustache and cool emblem. David Souza from Corbin Cash has the nice beard and has the cool Corbin Cash hat. Andy has the Def Leppard 21090 hat on with a nice beard, and I have glasses and nothing. That's what I have. So I'm the bottom one. I am.
So you are. I wasn't sure which one was you, but now it makes sense. Now it's all coming together. Pepper. That's good.
Glad everyone can. I think that's actually a pretty cool shirt. I'm gonna actually buy that and wear it because I think it's cool. All right. Robert was alluding to something else when we were at Old Line, and Andy, we've had a bunch of Patreons said, "Could you please do a pick of this?" And I will throw this a sample in tonight as well.
Oh, look at that. So let's recap.
Yes.
You get a bottle of the High and Rye.
Yes.
A full bottle. Not
full
the
bottle.
Not the bottle, the big bottle. You get a pair of Todd's socks from autographed. You get a sample of the new Madeira finish Still Austin.
Yes.
You get a pair of Todd's old shoes.
No shoes. I'm not doing that.
That was in there. That was set. People are excited about it. Don't think about it. And now you get a pour of the Case One rum from so that's a haul and a half.
Right. So Robert, you pulled this out because why? I'll let Robert take the stage on this.
And we were able to bottle our own things at that tasting on our barrel pick, and I went over there and tried it. I'm like, this isn't rum.
I know, right?
This is it has whiskey and bourbon notes in it, and I'm like, realized they aged it 3 years?
3 years in a American single malt cask.
On their old single malt cask. It is absolutely like the best rum I've ever had.
And it was $38. $38.
And
we will toy with the idea of because it's so good.
Yes.
Possibly bringing you something down the line.
Owner of that was this 15-year aged rum.
Oh,
this was the best rum I ever had in my life, and this thing stomps the crap out of it.
Wow, look at that!
So here's my question to our Patreon members: would you? A couple of people said, "Can you get what would you think about us doing a single barrel of this rum for our Patreon members?" I mean, at $38 a bottle.
I mean, I don't know how many barrels they have.
They've got a few. They've got more. They've got more.
We can discuss that with them because I was. Here's a good thing. First of all, people were very.
It's so fucking good.
Well, people were a little bit afraid of the single malt, and I think we changed their minds when we got there. Then they tried the rum, and I'm not a rum guy, and that changed their mind. So two things. One, single malts are fine, rums are fine, but Old Line is fantastic. So what they're doing at Old Line is underrated, and I really can't wait to be kind of on the cusp of this thing breaking out because they're really damn good.
I think it's 130, almost 133 proof.
Yeah.
How crazy is that? I want a couple bottles of that rum. Thank you, Corey. Yeah, so we're going to look into doing something for our Patreon members that we get you guys access to this because I know you can't really get this. And we just happened to like luck into this. They were doing this event after our Patreon pick where they had 3 single barrels and they had a Salt Turns finished cask, which was very good as well. But then like bourbon and then other people, everybody was saying, have you tried this rum? Holy, like everybody was like, you got to try this rum. And I'm not I don't drink rum. And I tried it. Like,
chocolate. I don't drink rum either, but this
right?
is
Exactly. Exactly. It is, and it was $38.
I'm actually not a rum fan at all, and I loved it. That's how good it was. So yeah.
Yeah, I picked this one up when I was there. There it is.
All right, so that was the other single barrel. Yes. Okay. Perfect. There you go. So
I
that
went
was
home to Kate for her to try because I'm like, I mean, she loved where are you at? Yeah, the Hard True chocolate malt. She loved this thing, that Hard True chocolate malted rye.
Oh yes.
And I'm like, the barrel we picked puts this thing to shame of how much chocolate it has in it. And
nice.
I brought this home because it has that same hint of chocolate note to it. And she's like, yeah, it's got a little bit of chocolate to it. I'm like, yeah, wait for that little to turn to a lot.
Yeah,
and,
it's a Tootsie Roll. So that's the great thing about this. I think we have it in there. We can probably bring it to our Patreon members. And the thing I like about it, it's $38, man. It's like, I mean, for 133 proof, rum that's aged for 3 years in American single malt barrels from Old Line. How do you beat that? How do you beat that price? And the flavor on this is just.
So let me, can I recap real quick?
Go ahead, Andy.
Let me just give me one second.
Here we go.
Wait. Hear me out, please. Hear me out. So we have some great stuff coming up. We've got the Corbin Cash picks, which are dynamite. We have the Old Line pitch, which is great. We have all the stuff from Lux Row and from MGP, which is amazing. Potentially, we'll be doing something with the rum pick from Old Line.
Yes.
But I just want to bring you all back. We still have Austin, which is what tonight was about.
Yes.
Yep.
Austin left, which we're trying to sell to you all because it's that good. So on top of tonight of getting a bottle, of getting Todd's socks signed, of getting the other Still Austin's, Madeira finish, which is great. A pair of Todd's elusive shoes that he gets once a year as his gift that he buys himself, wraps, and then his wife gives it to him for his birthday. You'll get that. And on top of that, you might get a drive down Coastal Highway if you're ever in Ocean City and Todd Springs. So I want to move back to Still Austin. Let's get that out first because it's just that important. We want to move this thing and sell it out. So go buy this, people. Don't worry about all the other great stuff we got coming out because that's coming. And you can have that too. But look at this bottle. It's fantastic. It's freaking good. And Paul Blart Mallcop and Joe Flacco are on the bottle. And Christopher David, by the way.
It's
you need one more?
Let's
Andy,
do that. What?
Alpha's on it, Andy.
And Alf, yeah, I mean, seriously.
So DJ Snare.
Before we sell all the other stuff that hasn't come out yet, let's sell this puppy. Go get the Still Austin. Todd, put the link or something there from SharePoint.
I just did.
Good job. That attaboy, little fella. We want to sell this, so let's get that. Yeah. But till that happens, Todd, do you want to pull out the wheel?
Yeah. Oh, let me get started. So why don't you guys? Yeah. We'll end it. So last call for the single barrel pick. A whole bottle. I will give you guys. Well, we will give you guys. We'll give you 2 ounces of the Still Austin Madeira. It's distillery only. Look at that. Beautiful Madeira cask finish rye whiskey. And then 2 ounces of the Case 1 rum that is absolutely amazing. 133 proof. finished for almost 3 years, actually over 3 years, in American single malt casks, and it's beautiful. So that's the giveaway tonight. Let me get the wheel up, Andy, and you can take over while I do that.
Yeah, you got it there, little fellow. So yeah, Todd needs to keep his Prius on the tracks. We're only talking to Austin tonight. No, I didn't say that. That's from the chat. I'm just reading the chat.
Who said that?
Don't you worry your pretty striped head. It's not a big deal. Let
me ask you guys this, Robert and Kate. What other single barrels would you like for us to go after? We ask our Patreons this a lot. What do you want us to go after? If you had your druthers, I love using that word.
Brothers, you're so old.
What
he used the word fuddy duddy.
What would you like us to go after? I'm curious. What do you guys, blue sky here? What would you want us to go after?
Thank you, Lance. Appreciate it, brother. Thank you.
Thanks, Lance. Or I put you on the spot. I'm sorry.
I know, putting me on the spot. Well, I'd really like you to go after Sagamore just because I want to go with you to pick it.
Okay, done.
I'm fair with that.
We'll make that happen.
Oh, Todd, you got another 5 from Chip because he wants that Prius ride. So there you go. So that little ride up and down ocean, and you're gonna like it. I mean, it's a tight squeeze, but he has that.
I have a Buick Smart.
I hate to tell you, Chip, but I've been in the thing, and he removed all the seats for more performance. So
and he's got that little like air freshener he got from the Barbie movie that he puts in there, so the car smells nice and fresh. So yeah, that Prius is rocking. You're gonna love it. It's great.
You know what, you guys? It's fine. It's fine.
It's good.
Okay. It's all good. It's all good. Andy, keep going. I'm trying to type in names.
And back to your actual question, Todd. Rye 3.
Yeah. Right? Oh, I'm telling you right now.
Rye 3 mostly because they're in our backyard.
Oh, the 16-year-old light whiskey is amazing.
For very selfish reasons. I want to go try with you.
Hey, we'll go with you to Rye 3. You come hang out with us at Sagamore. I've had a couple Rye 3s I adored. I've had a couple that I wasn't too fond of, to be completely transparent.
Stuff is really good, and some of what they've been rolling recently, like even their light whiskey, is really nice.
The 16-year-old light whiskey is one of my favorite pours of this year. It is amazing. It's amazing. It's like yellow cake in a glass. I love it. Sorry.
Yeah, so they're literally 5 minutes from our house.
Really? Oh, that's nice.
Really selfish reasons.
Now, have you guys been to?
Have not. So.
Have you guys been to Reservoir yet?
They're up in Richmond.
Yeah,
we haven't been up there, and I have not been a big fan of most things. The Blade Runner. Was it Blade Runner? Some of those things. It's pretty good. This
that's Holland's Ghost.
That's Holland's Ghost. So yeah, they do pretty good stuff from time to time, but most of their standard releases are so.
I agree, but I'm not going to lie to you. I think is this it? Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, this is old. I really do enjoy the Hunter and Scott. I actually think this is a pretty nice pour. Have you? Yeah, I think this is a really good pour. I don't dislike this at all. This is old school. This is batch 5. So this is an old one that I got when I was there a couple of years ago. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. So I've always been curious about going back to see how things have progressed with them. It's a tiny little place, but yeah, I tried through all their offerings. This is the only one I ended up buying because I really did enjoy this while I was there. And actually, you can see I did a little bit of damage to the bottle, so I liked it. But yeah, this is a good pour. So
and then we'll say Bare Knuckle. It's not Bare Knuckle. What is their?
That's KO Distillery.
Yeah,
Distillery is in Manassas, and
they're like 6-year Bare Knuckle is
the 6 years MGP, but the distillery themselves is not very old. I think it's like a 2016, 2015 era when they opened their doors. But every new release they make, every single barrel release that's picked by ABC is substantially better than the next. So they take open criticism. They're like, it's good, but it's a little young. They're like, fair enough, we'll age longer.
Right.
Okay. they're just really open to that, and a great group of people that work there, and their stuff is just fantastic. Especially their wheated. Their wheated mash bills. She's not a wheated girl at all. She hates wheat, but she tries like, oh, it's pretty good. So it's a wheater for people that don't like wheat.
Nice.
So they're really good stuff, and they have ryes too.
Their high rye is.
So their high rye is MGP, and I think they're running out of their MGP stock because they bought a bunch of barrels when they opened up, and they released them a couple years in a row as their 6-year cash strength single barrel releases, and they are some of the best MGPs I've had.
We can say without reservation how good the stuff at MGP is. Not being able to tour those kind of sacred grounds, it was an experience like nothing else, and it was pretty amazing.
The Rossville 9-year rye, the 95.5. Oh my God, that is.
They had 2 match bills of that, Todd.
Bring it to and you get all the same like wings, and you can age it a little faster.
Well, it is 6 years in Virginia.
So that's what KO does. Everything comes to Virginia and ages here, which is much more of a change than you get in.
Correct. In Indiana, yeah.
Yep. And just a cheap plug for Virginia, they're also knocking wine out of the park. Dude, Virginia fantastic. It is the most up and coming wine area right now in the country outside, because California has been exposed as being so good. Then you've got Oregon, you have Idaho, and you have Washington State. Virginia is really the next big wine hub in the country. So there's a lot of good stuff going on out there. Yeah.
Especially, I love the Chamberson. You can't get them like
they do Chamberson well. They do Cab Franc really well. They do the Norton grape, which is exclusive really to that Virginia area. And actually, if you read, there's a book called The Wild Vine, which if you guys are wine fans, read it. It is one of the best reads you'll ever pick up from a wine book because it's interesting from start to finish. It has a little bit of like history about some of the presidents and their wine collections and all this stuff. And then it kind of back and forth between present time and latter day. But also talks about how when the phylloxera kind of came and wiped out all those old vines in Europe, they actually used the Norton vines from Virginia, imported it to Europe to actually fuse them together and save the vines in France, in Spain, in Italy, and Portugal without Virginia. Really, wine as we know it in the old world in Europe wouldn't even exist. It's an amazing read. So it's called The Wild Vine. Look it up on your and Google it. I read it. I absolutely loved it. It's a great book. Yeah, really cool.
But yeah, this is Bare Knuckle Cave Distillery.
Yeah.
That's
I have a Bare Knuckle. I gotta find mine back here, but yeah, I like them too. They're very good. And Joe wants us to do a Bowman pick. So what do you think about that? Since it hasn't been done yet.
A Bowman pick to get you on that Sazerac single barrel pick though, because Bowman's owned by Sazerac.
We're on it. I actually know the CEO of Sazerac. I kid you not. I played soccer with him when I was very young, and we reached out to him. He's like, "Yeah, I remember you. I don't remember you, but I remember that team. And here's our marketing brand agent. Talk to her. I have no time for you." Like, I had his email. I knew who he was because I'm friends with him, and I found out from another friend that he was actually. I didn't know this. There's the CEO of Sazerac, and
he was actually a lot more polite than that.
He was very polite
and actually very so. It is something you never know. Like it's good to know people.
We're trying to get in there, and we're in their barrel, their single barrel. We're in that, but the chance of us getting picked for that is slim to none. Actually, if anybody wants to enter the Sazerac, because it's a whole line, enter into it. If you get selected, let us know. We'll go through shared pour and get the barrel. So if you have go enter into their single barrel program. If you get hit, contact us and we'll do a pick of whatever that's the way to do it here. We can get shared pour. Right. That's the way to do it. Anyway, Andy, I'm ready for anybody else last call for alcohol.
No, people are done. Whoever wants your socks and shoes has already put in money for it. So you're fine.
We'll give away a bottle and some samples. I tell you what, this rum again, I actually want to do a pick very soon of this because it's a great price point and it's phenomenal. And if we can find another barrel just like this, it would sell out easily. In fact, I'd buy probably a case of it at $38. I might buy 2 cases of it because that's how good this fucking shit is. So anyway, sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Easy there, little fella. Don't get so excited there.
I love it. All right, so let's present. Let's share screen. Let's see who wins tonight's shoes and socks, I guess is what we're calling this.
Maybe the dumbest giveaway we've ever done, but that's kind of fun.
I'll do a pair of socks or something. I'll sign them and put them in there. But really, the whiskey, you're getting a full bottle of the
In my lifetime, I never thought that anyone would ever super chat for a pair of your stupid socks.
No one's doing it for my socks. They're doing it for the high
Everyone's doing it for your stupid socks.
Look at this. Look at this lineup. Look, besides my socks and shoes, this is it. Whole bottle of this.
He only gets 1 pair, so he's going to Febreze them a little bit before he sends them to you. You gotta make sure.
All right, let me.
Todd does have a little foot fungus that you may not know about.
No, I don't. I take very good care of my feet. I don't like them burnt or anything. It's
this is the best.
Well-filled socks all day long.
I do only wear Under Armour shoes. That's all I wear.
Shower socks.
There you go. All right. So, Andy, you ready for me?
Said, I hope I win. Daddy needs some new shoes. So roll that puppy, man. Let's see what happens here. Who's going to win this thing?
All right, you guys ready? Is it up, Andy?
Shuffle. I'm in for the socks. God, this is so funny. I bet they still have sand in them. This is the best. Go ahead.
Are you ready?
Go ahead. Sand. That's great. And the winner is. Oh my God, Jimmy's going to win his socks. Jimmy wins his socks and shoes. Yes.
They put sand in them wins.
Jimmy, I'm so happy about
that. Oh, Jimmy. Am I really sending him socks and shoes, Andy?
And he will hold you to that shit. You better send him every last thing promised, including those grubby, smelly shoes that you've been mowing the lawn in. You better send him that whole damn thing.
Well done, Jimmy. I will thank you. Whatever.
P.S. I have started working with a school in Arkansas. I'm probably going to be out there very soon. I will make sure one way, come hell or high water, you get those shoes and socks.
Yeah, I'm not sending them. I will send them. You can take my shoes and my socks.
No, you send them. You promised it, Todd.
Jimmy, you don't really want shoes and socks, do you?
Jimmy,
why would you want that? Why would you want that?
He said best night ever. Look how happy he is. Best night ever. Look at that. He's excited. He's excited.
No, he really wants them. No.
Jimmy might not have any shoes and socks. This is the best night ever for Jimmy.
When he goes to Honeysuckle Road, man, he's going to wear those shoes. It's going to be great.
Look, Gandy is right. I will. Oh no, I got to buy another pair of shoes now. Jeez,
you didn't ask for a new pair. You asked for your pair. You get one a year.
I know. I'm going to buy my own pair and send them these smelly ones. That's all. Actually, I just put these on. You know what? I put these on when we went to Kentucky. They're new shoes, actually.
Tell me they're new. So you guys send them as new ones? How are you going to break that to your wife that she has to buy you the same thing twice in 1 year?
I'll make an art piece out of them. All right, Jimmy. I'll send. I have actually a couple pair of shoes. I'll send you if you want me to. I'll sign them. Am I really doing this? Am I really doing this?
Easily the dumbest thing I've ever seen us give away in my entire life. This is great. This makes me so happy. You have no idea how ridiculously stupid this is, and this makes me happy. I love it.
Why though? Why am I doing this?
I think it's funny, and he has no idea that you're a size 6 shoe. So that's kind of funny too. He doesn't really
10.5. I'm a size 10.5.
So this is great.
Yes, you are. All right, Jimmy. I put the
perfectly on that little pedal in the Prius. So he presses down just enough.
Son of a biscuit. Unbelievable. All right, well, there you go, guys. What other channel can you have whiskey, beer, and shoes for sale? I mean, I don't know where else you're going to get that.
Jimmy's going to hang the size 4s for his rearview mirror.
What? Oh, size 4s. All right, whatever, Joe.
Oh gosh, that's funny.
Anyway, let's end before it gets any more of a train wreck.
All right. Well, hey, this has been fun. BCS on its way. Go buy the Still Austin Rye. I know Todd's been promoting everything but it, but this, people, is freaking delicious.
You need to, at least.
I am.
Okay. Here it is. Look, let's put them up.
Hold on. You know it. Here, guys.
Look at that. There There it is. You drank half the bottle already, guys, in one night.
I might need another.
Let's do it. Oh, well, there's not many left. There you go. You got plenty. There you go. Guys, High Rise out. Thank you guys for your support. Kate and Robert, thank you for coming on. Hold on. A little applause. Thank you for coming on. Oh, that's his shoe. Oh, Jimmy, that's his shoe size. So he'll have some Under Armours coming his way that are used. Just for breeze them first. And yes, Patreon, you get more than shoes on our Patreon. We have a lot of fun stuff coming. Soon we will announce our Advent calendar, which we'll be doing again this year. If you were in it last year, hopefully you liked it. We'll be doing at least two again this year. If we have enough, we'll do 3. We love doing it. So that'll be coming out soon. A lot of fun stuff for Patreon. So join that and a lot of picks. Andy, anything else you want to say?
Well, Marcel is super excited as well about the giveaway, so that makes me happy as well.
Both the shoes and socks, or just let them go as they are.
So just send what you need to send, Todd. Make people happy. No, we're here for the people. I think
signing them would be better. I think my signature on them would add more value to them. Like
his signature is illegible. He writes like a 3-year-old, so you're not even going to be able to tell it's his name. So that's fine.
That's the fun part of it, you know.
So people trying to decipher, but either way, guys, this has been great. Let's do a beer throwback to kind of roll out of here, Todd. What do you think?
Okay. Oh, I'm sure it'll be about me. I can't wait.
Oh no, this is a little throwback back to when we did line up all those Bourbon County stouts.
We got really drunk at that time. Cheers, guys.
Just a little bit. See you next week, people. Rock on. We appreciate you. Bye, the Still Austin. See ya.
This is too much beer. It is too much beer. We bit off way. I felt it like at 2017, and now I really feel it at 20.
Whoever smelt it dealt it.
Whose idea was this?
Yours. Mine. Both of ours?
I'm going to just throw up a little bit.
Ooh. Oh. That's not nice.
One more freaking. Come on. We got to finish this. I got to pee too.
Shut up.
Oh, I knew this was going to happen.
Of course you knew this was going to happen. This happens every time we do this.
We have a lot of here.
A lot.
Oh, you. God. What is wrong with your stomach?
Okay. All right.
Last one. All right. I'm going to throw this to you. I'm going to crack it, but I'm going to throw it to you. Ready?
No, I'm not ready. I got to figure out what we're going to say.
I'm going to throw 2020, how great it is. But I'm going to say we've gotten through 11. This is the 11th one, Andy. We're 11. You're drunk. You're so drunk. Uber time. I don't even know what to. Come on.
Okay, I'm ready.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
You're not.
I'm ready. All right.
All right, it's 2000.
Wait, my eyes hurt. Hold on.
Oh, man.
Hold on.
Come on, I'm ready to go.
I am, too. It's like a brighter.
It did not get brighter.
It did.
Yours got drunker.
Okay.
Ready?
Yep.
All right, we've made it through. I can't believe it. Are you letting me? Because I kind of coughed myself. Ready?
Yes.
All right, Andy, it's 2020. We're never getting through this.
Okay.
Are we going to get through this?
Yes. Hold on.
Oh, no. It's happened the last one.
Oh, hold on. We can pull this together.
Come on, man. Really, seriously.
I'm fine.
I want to get it through. We can laugh at the end, but let's get through this.
We can laugh at the end. I'm not allowed to laugh yet.
No,
I'm trying.
come on.
I'm trying.